This is Steve from Boxing UK. Delighted to be joined by Executive Vice President, did I get that right, Joe?
Yeah, that's right.
Of DAZN, Joe Markowski.
How you doing?
Quiet day, Joe?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very, very well. I'm just saying quiet day today.
Yeah, quiet day. Not much going on over here, but no, jokes aside, end of the day, obviously now, loads of good feedback and great reaction from media and fans alike. So we're very happy to have watched all of the reactions today, and obviously something we've been working on behind the scenes quietly for some time. Always, excited and a little bit nervous to unveil your work over work that's happened over a number of months, and so today was that day, and yeah, it's gone very well. So we're very encouraged, and now just looking forward to getting into the shows.
Brilliant. It is a few hours since the news has been announced of your exclusive huge deal with Matchroom. You said that you've been quite pleased with feedback. Have you kept an eye on it, Joe?
I always do, yeah. I mean, obviously we've had a lot on today, but I've kept my eye on social media, and obviously, look, we've been the beauty of this launch for us is that it's almost an extension of a deepening of a launch we made in December, right? We didn't formally launch in the UK in December. We made the service available via the global platform launch to UK fans, and obviously the schedule of events that we've been delivering to UK fight fans since December has been international, mainly US led. We've curated that schedule by design to include a number of UK names. Obviously, Canelo fought Callum Smith in December. Luke Campbell fought Ryan Garcia at the start of the year, and more recently, Canelo fought Billy Joe Saunders. That wasn't an accident. We knew that the UK was an interesting market within that global platform offer for us. The numbers that we've generated against those events and the broader schedule we put onto the UK since December was really the last proof point we needed to justify this deal and to commit to this deal. Obviously, we have a fantastic relationship with Eddie and with Matchroom, but that sort of final proof that we could generate significant audiences, significant subscriber numbers in the UK, we were only going to find out when we turned the platform on, and we've done that over the last sort of 6.5 months. So really excited by that, really encouraged by the feedback we've had and by the welcome we've had from UK fight fans, and now just looking forward to serving them with premium domestic content on top of all of that sort of broader international roster of fights. So very exciting day for us, and more importantly, a game-changing day, we feel, for British sports fans.
Absolutely. It is one of the worst kept secrets in boxing, Joe. How long have you been actually sitting on this news? How long has the agreement been ready to go?
Oh, we've been talking to Matchroom for some time about this deal. Obviously, these deals don't happen overnight. They require, it was a major decision for Matchroom. We've got a great relationship with them, but it's a game changer to our relationship. It's a domestic rights deal. It's them stepping away from Sky Sports, and obviously we would give credit and doff our caps to the work that Sky Sports have done with Matchroom over a number of years. 25 years they've worked together since the Barry Hearn days, let alone the Eddie Hearn days, to grow the sport up, and that work has taken boxing to a position where it is today, which is one of the most major sports in the UK. So major decision, for Matchroom, and a big investment for us, but one that we're very confident in making because of everything I've said. A great relationship, a commitment from Matchroom to a great roster of fights, a welcome from UK fans that makes us very confident economically that this is a sensible deal for us to step into. So probably over the course of 6 months it's come together, but as I say, since December, since we saw the numbers around Campbell Garcia, since we started looking at the UK business with real data and real proof points, that's when we got into contracting stage, and obviously that sort of concluded in the last couple of months.
The nitty-gritty for the fans, Joe, is I think both yourself and Eddie have said previously today that this deal is going to take boxing in the UK to the next level, not just in terms of presentation, but also in terms of what you can do for the fighters. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, I think Eddie's better placed to speak about what this does for the fighters. Obviously, we are hugely respecting of how Matchroom care for their fighters. They are brilliant promoters for us, for broadcasters. They deliver great events for fans, but obviously none of that would happen without fantastic relationships with their stable of fighters. So we fully respect that. We love the way that Matchroom treat their fighters. It's not always the case in boxing and in sports that promoters and rights holders look after their talent in the way that Matchroom do. So Eddie is definitely better placed to speak about that, but we hugely respect it. For the nitty-gritty for fans, I think there's a few things to call out. Absolute focus on delivering a best-in-class production. On top of the schedule based on the fighters, we're gonna work Matchroom to make sure that the best fights happen. Trust me on that. We will push Matchroom. We've accelerated that during COVID. We are now very good at holding Eddie's feet to the fire to deliver high-quality matchups. So we'll take care of that. Once those fights are made, I think there's a real focus from DAZN and from Matchroom Media on the quality of production. That starts with a talent team. It starts with a sort of a plan that will satisfy the hardcores, but also engage new audiences of fight fans. It's important that we position that production so it engages new fans and is a mix of established names and new names, but always with a focus on quality. There's also going to be a focus on value. More fights, more high quality fights, more accessibility, so you can watch this content on any screen in your life. Crucially, on the big screen in your living room, on the phone in your pocket, in the laptop in your bag, on your iPad, wherever you've got a screen, we will serve that to you. And that obviously represents a bit of a change from traditional linear sports broadcasting. So more accessibility and just generally a better offer for fight fans. You know, we've extended our special introductory price point of $199. Will that last forever? Probably not. We're working on that at the moment. We're thinking about how we evolve that, but always with a commitment to a low cost, highly flexible, highly accessible model for fight fans. If you look at what we've done in other markets around the world, if you look at what we've done in Japan, the US, Canada, Italy, Germany, in all of those countries, we've got premium domestic rights, premium domestic content, Serie A in Italy, Bundesliga in Germany, J-League in Japan, NFL in Canada. And we're offering that content at a dramatically lower price than our competitors in the market, who actually, in most cases there, have a lighter content offer than us now. So a commitment to value, a commitment to a consumer-friendly model, and that's something that philosophically we are going to be committed to. So in broad strokes, a fan-friendly, game-changing deal for British fight fans.
Brilliant. Can I touch on a couple of things that you've mentioned in there, Joe? One of the questions that we were going to ask is, what input will DAZN have in the cards that are going to be announced? You said you're going to hold Eddie's feet to the fire. What exactly does that mean in regards to fights? Because one of the issues we've had in the UK with Sky, that I think DAZN might have to fight, is cards that lack depth, basically. So a really good main event and then a terrible undercard, to quote boxing fans. What can you do working alongside Eddie to ensure that the cards will be stacked?
I think there's the first of all, it starts with a commitment and an approach, a philosophy by which we're stepping into this deal. We've worked with Eddie in boxing for 4 years in the US. We've got better and better at working with him to understand the needs and wants of fight fans and delivering to them. And sometimes there's an arm wrestle and a push and a pull from both sides. But I think as we step into this UK deal, we have a shared view of what fight fans want. I think in the case of card design and matchmaking generally, I think COVID has accelerated a number of things around our industry, right? It's changed a lot and it's accelerated a few things. In the case of matchmaking and card design, sometimes pre-COVID, it was hard to convince managers and fighters that they should have the fight that fans wanted to see immediately. And that's a sort of legacy problem in boxing, right? There was a concern that if I take this fight, it's a risk. Fans want to see it. It's the obvious fight for me to take. But if I lose, my career's over. My paydays come down. I don't want to take that fight. I want to milk my current trend for 2 or 3 more fights, make myself some more cash before I take that risk. To basically de-risk their financial purse takeaways, right? In COVID, what I've noticed is fighters who are shocked by COVID, like we all were, in thinking, I might not be able to fight here for 2 years. They are now more willing to take those risks because of their fears they had, as understandable, that they wouldn't fight for a long time. So it's made fights that were harder to make pre-COVID easier to make. It's accelerated that. It's made our jobs easier in saying to Eddie, we want to see this fight, this fighter fight this fighter within the next 2 or 3 fights. We want to see this fight on this card now. So I think that will become easier. Eddie has the relationships. He has the stable of fighters to deliver constantly high quality cards. There's a process we will go through where we sign off cards with Eddie. He'll have to propose those to us before they're approved. So on behalf of fans, I hope you'll start seeing DAZN represent fans' interests and when needed, push our promotional partners, Matchroom, to deliver those cards and those events. I don't think Eddie would disagree with me on that. I think he's got everything he needs to do that. And I think it's become easier, as I say, through COVID. So I don't expect that to be a consistent problem. It's not been a problem for us in the US, and hopefully that will be replicated in the UK.
Fantastic news. The other point, and you've probably been asked this question more than any other question today, Joe, and again, you touched on it. The price point, $199 so far has been brilliant value for money when you think of the fights that you've already delivered over here in the UK, but that has to change, hasn't it? When we're talking about taking it to the next level, that can't be done at $199. Have you got, and I know you've, in the press release, it said that that's going to stand in place for Fight Camp, but have you got an eye on when the price will go up and to how much? And can you explain what will happen with any pay-per-views as well?
Yeah, well, let me cover the core price point first. So as the press release says, we've said a few times today, we are committing to extending that introductory special offer price of £1.99 a month until the end of Fight Camp. So that's mid-August. There's 3 events starting on July the 31st at Fight Camp. We're thinking about and we're working out what we do thereafter. But as I said earlier, our commitment from the very start of DAZN, and I've been with DAZN since it was 5 people in a rather unglamorous room in West London plotting how we were going to launch this business, always started that business with a philosophy of democratizing sport, making sport more accessible, more fan-friendly, moving away from this cumbersome, expensive 24-month contract in some countries, relationship between a consumer and a sports TV provider. I live in the US right now. There's no market that is more sort of criminal in how much money it takes from boxing fans than the traditional US boxing model. We've directly challenged that, and we've significantly reduced the cost for fans of watching that content. We plan to do exactly the same in the UK. So as and when we increase the price, we're not ready to discuss that yet, but as and when we do, it will always be through the lens of consumer value. So I don't think fans have anything to worry about that this is going to increase the cost of watching boxing for them in the UK. Quite the opposite. This is going to reduce the cost of watching boxing in the UK, whilst also elevating the quality, the consistency, and the experience around boxing generally. I mean, live events, regularity of live events, quality of live events, original programming, supplementary programming on platform, a general elevation of the experience with a keen eye always on consumer value from a price point perspective. So we'll get into that at the right time. But as of right now, I'd encourage fans. There's no reason not to come and give DAZN a try in the coming months. At $199, it's a remarkable offer.
Fantastic. Couple of quick ones to end with, Joe. This covers all of Matchroom UK shows except for Anthony Joshua. Can you clarify that? What that means to UK fans? Does that mean Anthony Joshua will never appear on DAZN? Is that a temporary thing?
It means that Anthony Joshua has a standalone set of media rights. He manages his own media rights with Matchroom's guidance. So his rights, the rights to broadcast his fights, are sold separately to the rest of the Matchroom stable. What we've announced today is the acquisition of the rest of the Matchroom stable, everything other than Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has 1 fight remaining on his contract with Sky Sports. As and when that next fight happens, which looks like Usyk later in the summer, AJ will have a decision to make, and he'll come to market, I'm sure, with his management team 258 and with Matchroom guidance to look at offers from the UK broadcasting market. Clearly, we by that point are going to be a firmly established British sports broadcaster with a major investment in boxing. So and a great relationship with AJ. So as and when that side of the table, 258, Matchroom and AJ are ready to have that conversation, of course, we will be involved in that conversation, but those conversations haven't started yet. I don't imagine they will until AJ has made and fought his next fight, which obviously hasn't officially happened yet. So looking forward to getting into that. We have a fantastic relationship with AJ. He's delivered fantastic results for us in the US and around the world, most recently in the Pulev fight in December. We're massive fans of his, and his we see huge value in him as a business. So as and when those conversations are ready to happen, we will be involved. And at that point, a decision will be made by Team AJ.
Lovely. Two more. One of the major pluses of Sky Sports, Joe, was they have the juggernaut of Sky Sports News, advertising any fighting in the middle of the Premier League. What can DAZN do to fill that gap?
Well, look, from a marketing perspective, I think it's a fair challenge. We are not on day one going to be as established or with as big an audience as the broader Sky Sports family. That's a 30-year-old business. And one that's built up over a number of years, notably around major investments in domestic sports. So we're not going to pretend that we are going to be as big as Sky Sports by way of audience on day one. That would be insincere of us. Look, I think a couple of things to say. First of all, I'm very, very encouraged by how quickly, before we've even really launched in the UK, we've established a brand, we've established a brand awareness, we've established a relationship with a large number of UK sports fans. We have massively out-delivered our own expectations in the UK since December. And we've done that through quality of content and quality of marketing. And our marketing tactics are going to be slightly different to what you've seen Sky Sports do over a number of years. Would Sky Sports or other broadcasters have taken an original piece of documentary programming like our AJ One Night documentary or our Canelo The Greatest Athlete You've Never Seen documentary prior to the Billy Joe Saunders fight, and given that to another broadcaster in the BBC to showcase in the week of the fight? No, they would not. We've done that because we recognise the need to grow the awareness of our brand, of our platform, and of our fights that we're carrying. We're going to continue to do that. We're very efficient in digital marketing. We're very efficient at making people aware of our content and our brand through other channels. So once we've made them aware, we're very efficient financially at capturing them and making them subscribers, which obviously is boring sort of company stuff. What it does mean is we are good at capturing audiences, and we've learned that in markets all around the world. So I'm actually not concerned at all that the hype around UK boxing is going to go off a cliff based on Sky Sports stepping away from these rights and DAZN taking them. In fact, if you look at the biggest UK boxing event of recent times, Canelo Billy Joe Saunders in the US at 4:30 in the morning on a streaming platform that was 6 months old, was probably that event. We delivered that. That was a DAZN event. So I think more of the same, really. We're going to invest in marketing heavily. We're going to be clever and efficient and smart with how we do it. It's going to be different. It's going to be new age. It's going to be forged by all the experience we've had around the world. And if you ask me if I'm worried about our ability to quickly become a major sports broadcaster in the UK now that we're properly launching, I just point people to the other markets of the world that we're in. In Japan, I moved there to run our Japanese business in 2016. By mid-2018, we're the number one sports broadcaster in Japan, full stop, of any description. In Germany and Italy, if not number one, we're top two already, and we're 3 or 4 years old in those markets. So we are very good at growing quickly. We're disruptive, we're different, we're fan-friendly, and ultimately that ladders up into a position where we're very confidently stepping into the UK with lofty expectations, but ones that we're very confident of meeting.
Brilliant. And last one, have you got any plans to buy the Premier League?
I've been asked this question a few times today. Look, I mean, what I would say about DAZN is, and I think the perception in the UK, based on Eddie Hearn being probably our most visible and most regular spokesperson, is that DAZN is a boxing business. Yes, we're a business with a big investment and a big commitment to boxing around the world, but we're not only a boxing business. In fact, most of our business is in other sports. I've mentioned Italy, I've mentioned Japan, I've mentioned Spain and Germany, in Canada. In those markets, our premium content is European football, soccer, and NFL football, American football in the case of Canada. So we have major investments in all sports, and our intentions in all markets is to become a multi-sport broadcaster. So what happens down the line in the UK will happen. We're obviously eyes open and ears open to opportunities to expand our content offer in those markets. But right now, what we're very, very focused on and very, very confident around is our investment with Eddie and with Matchroom. And I think that alone is more than justification to announce our proper entry into the UK later this summer, which we've done today. And yeah, we're very excited about that. We'll deal with everything else down the line.
Brilliant. Joe, I appreciate your time. Can I end with a congratulations, because anything that improves the coverage of our sport can only be applauded. So look forward to the big launch after our Newcastle show.
Well, enjoy the show in Newcastle. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the passionate support of British fight fans. So I'm so excited to be announcing this today. I'm very proud to be representing the business doing that. And on behalf of everyone at the Zone, we're extremely excited to be getting going with this at Fight Camp on the 31st of July. So look forward to meeting all of you in the coming months.
Joe Markowski, thank you very much for your time on what must be a busy day.
Appreciate it. Speak soon.
Take care, mate.